Great, great, great.
So I should be about 8:45.
All right then, my guy. All righty then. We got a full one for you tonight. So thank you so much for tuning in. I hate being late, but it is what it is. We got a good one for you tonight. So go to 1690 AM to 1, the actual website, and download the website and tune in to Real Talk. I'm your host. Again, we apparently we're having a problem with the streaming, but if you go to 16am to 1.com,
Yeah, that's it on there.
you actually be able to see it right there. So go in, and you can also call in to at 402-965-1003. So give me a few minutes before you give me a call. I want to go into various amount of things. Got a lot of stuff. First and foremost, I want to thank God for being ahead of my life. Always striving to be better than I was yesterday. No way perfect. By no means. By no means. So we may be doing it via Periscope a little bit later, but I want to just settle down, get a few things out the way, and always, give honor and praise to person that's ahead of my life, with this, my God and Savior, Jesus Christ. Second, I want to send special condolences to a mentor, a friend. Big shout out to the Peak family. We lost a icon, Dr. Frank Peak, aka the Godfather, as I call him, because anytime I would call him, he would get things done. He is definitely going to be missed by me and so many others. Lovely wife, lyrics, my prayers go out to you and your family. Big shout out to my guy, Milk, Arlen Peak, part of the Peak family. As always, keep your head towards the sky. Don't keep your head to your left or to your right. Always keep your eye on Jesus Christ, and He will always see you through. So I just want to give a special shout out to the Peak family, as well as anyone that lost a loved one throughout the city, as well as throughout the country. So much violence with the 6-year-old and the 9-year-old being lost. One in Chicago and then one in Louisiana. It's just sad times right now. So I just want to give, again, praise and honor, and then also give a special shout out to those individuals, anyone who lost a loved one to violence, incarceration, mental illness. I mean, the list goes on. Also, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Big Mama's Kitchen and Catering, located on the Turning Point campus on 45th and Bedford, as well as on their sandwich shop located on 24th and Lake. Great food, great fun. Love our affiliation with Big Mama Kitchen and Catering. As always, we have the Hungry Club. That is the first Wednesday of the month, and we want to thank Donna for being a guest, and Miss Donna Smith is our guest speaker at the December Hungry Club at Big Mama's Kitchen and Catering, sponsored by Black Men United and Big Mama's Kitchen. Donna has a radio show weekly on this station, 1690 AM to 1, Surviving Life Tribulations. Her son committed suicide in 2011. She's a suicide prevention awareness advocate, has been a sports coach for 23 years, and has been the executive regional director for Hoop It Up for the last 9 years. She's going to talk about suicide awareness. I think this is a timely topic as suicide and depression tend to rise during the holidays. And again, the first Wednesday of the month, I think this is such a timely issue, and I'm confident that November is Suicide Prevention Month. So again, we want to thank Donna Smith for coming down and educating people and telling her story regarding her son, who was lost to suicide. Again, Ms. Donna Smith will be our guest speaker at the December Hunger Club at Big Mama's Kitchen and Catering. Don't forget, if you love the sandwiches, go down to the sandwich shop located on 24th and Lake Street. On a brief note, let's get the announcements out the way. I was going to do some national news, but we'll come back to that. Dine Dinner Digest, November 21st, from 5 to 7 p.m. Again, at Big Mama's Kitchen and Catering. Black Men United has been hosting what we're calling Dine Dinner Digest. Basically is a monthly event where we bring in and show a documentary, and we have a panel discussion, and we have dialogue afterwards. We started off with A Time for Killing with Senator Chambers, which was a great success, and from there, I guess the rest is history. This time around, we're going to be showing a documentary called Time Zone. And this young lady, Miss Lashana Etheridge Bay, spent the majority part of her life. We hopefully will be bringing her here, and I will discuss that later on the conference that we'll be having in 2016. But a little bit about Time Zone and Miss Lashana Etheridge Bay. She's a 41-year-old Washington who was born and raised in Southeast D.C. As a youth, she made a series of bad decisions that landed her in prison for a violent crime where she spent half of her life. By age 19, when Lashana became incarcerated, she had been a teen mom, a high school dropout, and she was unemployed, addicted to marijuana, and deeply immersed in the life of crime. During her 18.5 years in prison, during her 18.5 years, it wasn't a typo, so you heard me right. In prison, Lashana set out to rehabilitate and reform herself and make atonement to the utmost of her ability. She received her GED, began to pursue a college degree, helped develop and facilitate many classes from job readiness, victim impact, HIV awareness, self-esteem, and more. She also facilitated many wellness classes, including group boot camp fitness classes. Most importantly, she engaged in countless therapeutic programs. Lashana was released on parole on December 13, 2011. She made parole after her initial hearing. Since she had been home, she had been blessed with a phenomenal support system that has enabled her to obtain full-time employment, enroll in college, and begin to rebuild her life. She is pursuing her bachelor's degree in human relations from Trinity University. After her release, Lashana participated in a series of residential transitional programs that enabled her to gradually make a senseless adjustment back into society. Seamless, excuse me. Lashana has held several jobs since her release. In April of 2013, she was hired as a female reentry coordinator for the mayor office on returning citizens affairs. I'm going to jump down here for a minute. The director of CSOSA and various talk radio shows, including WHUR 96.3 and Sirius XM, The Silent Storm, and The Daily Drum with Renee Rash. She's the subject of the award-winning documentary Time Zone. That will be the documentary that we'll be showing November 21st from 5 to 7 p.m. on our Dine Dinner Digest. Again, she speaks candidly and articulately about the consequences of youth violence, the effects of incarceration on women and their families, and the challenges of reentry and family reunification. It's almost an ideal storm to be able to have this documentary. And then we're having a panel. We're putting that together as we speak, and doing the Dine Dinner Digest, and then have dialogue. So join us November 21st, 5 to 7 p.m. for the award-winning documentary Time Zone. Oh, wow. First of all, I want to thank Mr. Philip Jackson of the Black Star Project. Philip called me. Anytime Philip called me and asked me to do him a favor, and I think it was a favor for us. It wasn't really a favor for him. But asked me, could I do him a favor, and told me a little bit about the Central Park 5, and wanted to know would we be able to assist in bringing this individual here to Omaha, Nebraska, to talk about his particular case and the injustice that him and four others, as well as a Latino, of the four, was wrongfully accused of a horrendous crime. One member of the Central Park 5 will share his thoughts a quarter century later. Yusef Salim, 25 years ago in New York City, 5 blacks and a Latino juvenile male was wrongfully convicted and then incarcerated on rape charges stemming from a brutal attack and rape of a white woman jogging in Central Park. The Central Park 5, as they became known, ended up serving their full sentences of between 5 and 13 years in prison. They were later exonerated after serial rapist Matias Reyes, already in prison, confessed to the charges, supported by DNA evidence. Mr. Yusef Salam lives in New York City and is a family man, an educator, a motivational speaker, a poet, an artist, and an activist. I am so pleased to announce, and before I go further, I want to thank 2 people. I called Dr. Teresa McKinney over at UNO, and then I also called Mr. James Friedman, also at UNO, and I asked them to do me a favor and help me, assist me in bringing Mr. Yusef Salam to Omaha, Nebraska. And so, without hesitation, she said, Mr. Hamilton, let me see what I can do. Call me back. And I want to thank UNO and my partnership with those individuals and them stepping to the plate as an urban college and help bring Yusef Salam to Omaha, Nebraska. Next 3 to 6 months, you won't be able to touch this individual. They just won $43 million against the police officer in the city of Omaha, and in the process of filing an additional $43 million lawsuit against the state of New York. So, again, we are pleased to announce Yusef Salam. Well, I hope I ain't messing up this guy's name. And to the city of Omaha, Nebraska, at the Community Engagement Center on December the 2nd. Please save the date. This Wednesday, December 2nd, 6 to 8 p.m., the Barbara White Engagement Center on the campus of the University of Nebraska, Omaha, 6001 Dodge Street, second level room, 201 to 205. Again, that is Wednesday, December 2nd, at the Barbara White Community Engagement Center in the University of Nebraska, Omaha, 6001 Dodge Street, on the second level, room 201 to 205. And this is being presented by Black Men United and the University of Nebraska at Omaha. For more information, contact will@blackmenunited.org. Again, Willie Hamilton, Executive Director. Really excited about bringing this individual here and tell his story, another story about the injustice that not only him, but 4 other brothers and a Latino suffered in a criminal justice system that is in need of repair. I want to read this really quick. I thought it was interesting. Someone showed this to me. And this is an article in the Washington Post, dated October 29th by Sarah Horowitz, the Deputy Attorney General Sally Yates. The Justice Department's second highest ranking official Thursday said that the federal prison's most successful education and reentry program has dramatically shrunk in recent years, leaving more than 10,000 inmates on a waiting list for prison jobs and educational training. The Justice Department's second highest ranking official Thursday said that the federal prison's most successful education and reentry program has dramatically shrunk in recent years. Ooh. On the eye of the early release of thousands of federal inmates on the eve of the early release of thousands of federal inmates back to their homes, Deputy Attorney General Sally Yates said that the Bureau of Prisons vocational and educational program known as Federal Prison Industries has been reduced to half of the size it was 10 years ago. The program gives inmates the opportunity to build products such as furniture and electronics while also earning money to pay court-ordered obligations. Rehabilitation. Well, thank you so much that the tide is seen to be turning back to common sense when it comes to rehabilitation. We are pleased to announce Intro to the Trades. We are starting officially, re-officially, November the 14th, the Saturday from 9 to 3 p.m. We had to downsize the program due to lack of funds, but we did get funding for a 4-week-long program. Intro to the Trade program is a 4-week-long Saturday class that will help you gain key skills to be employed in the construction field. What this course will do for you is give you the basic skills to prepare you for entry-level construction work, teach you key skills to get and keep a job, support you with your job search efforts, and connect you to the potential employers, give you hands-on training with a short-term internship, and provide you with a certificate of completion and a letter of recommendation for your resume. This course consists of the following: basic construction math and measurement, CPR certification, interviewing skills and strategies, dealing with the workplace frustrations, job search strategies, one-on-one support, and more. To cap off the program, you receive a certificate of completion. A student must complete 10 hours arranged internship at a local construction or vocational company in Omaha. This program is targeted to individuals from the age of 18 to 25. However, if you are older and are interested, exceptions can be made. Classes start November the 14th. Questions, please email me at will@blackmenunited.org. Here we go. Again, classes start November the 14th from 9 to 3. Applications can be found on our website, again, www.blackmenunited.org, and you can email me at will@blackmenion.org, or you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or Pinterest. Again, the website has the application on the website. So, some more national news. And there is a shift for the first time, and it has crossed party lines, where the focus is on rehabilitation when it comes to mass incarceration. It just makes sense. There was an article done by the Leadership Conference, and it was done on the new Sentencing Reform and Correction Act of 2015. The ill-conceived war on drugs that began more than 30 years ago has resulted in a system that is unjustly biased. From arrest to release, African Americans, Latinos, and low-income individuals are disproportionately overrepresented throughout the system. Today, due in large part to so-called tough-on-crime policies and mandatory minimum sentences, the United States incorporates more people and a higher percentage of its population than any other country in the world. Than any other country in the world. On October the 1st, 2015, a bipartisan group of senators introduced S2123. Please Google that. That's S.2123, the Sentencing Reform and Correction Act of 2015, a major criminal justice reform package aimed at reducing some mandatory minimum sentencing for non-violent drug offenders and curbing recidivism. It is the most significant federal legislative initiative on criminal justice reform since the passage of the Fair Sentencing Act of 2010, which the new bill would make retroactive. Read that one more time. It is the most significant federal legislation initiative on criminal justice reform since the passage of the Fair Sentencing Act of 2010, which the new bill would make retroactive. Which means there's a lot of folks that get ready to get out. What we gonna do? Say 2.5 unemployment in Nebraska, but in the black and brown community that number is more like 25 to 30%, maybe even higher. That's why I'm so pleased that so much movement is being put towards prevention and addressing training, and skills. Trades is big right now. Also, before I go on, I want to thank, first of all, the mayor of Omaha, Mayor Jean Stothert, for her continued support for our program. I want to thank Hal Dobb. I want to thank Jim Esch for being supportive from the beginning. One of our board members, Mr. Hal Dobb, has been also supportive as well by putting his name and his time because he believes our program is one of the few programs out there that has a most chance at being successful. It's not a close your eyes and throw the dart at the wall that has been thought out by the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, by the Department of Education, and have proven to be successful. And we have my guy, Mr. Dale Gines, one of 4,000 folks in the country that actually overseeing and have put his golden touch, if you will, on this program. So, even though it's taking us a minute, we want to make sure we do this right because it's going to impact so many people's lives. And that's what keeps us grinding every day. Because sometimes, man, I swear I just want to just, but that's a whole nother story. But this is bigger than me. This is bigger than Dale. This is God-driven. So be careful what you ask for. Because right now, the season of overflow. He have went in front of us and opened so many doors. We met with Mr. Mike Rothwell, who's the new deputy director, who has the same mindset and has did this around the country. What he's coming to Omaha, Nebraska, and the state of Nebraska to do, was to implement programs, best practices, if you will, which has proven to be successful, and wants to partner with organizations within the community where the individuals are going back to. Makes sense, common sense. Great conversation with Mr. Ken Smith, who's looking to partner with Black Men United to go behind the walls. Literally a captive audience to build their relationship before those individuals get out. We know we got a relationship with them because we do what we do. So we're excited about all the opportunities that are opening up regarding the need for our program. Anyway, the bill would also reform enhanced mandatory minimums for people with the prior drug convictions, broaden the existing safety valve and create a second safety valve, reform enhanced mandatory minimums and sentences for firearm offenses. So if you get an opportunity, please go out, Google, educate yourself about the Sentencing Reform and Correction Act of 2015. S.2123. And please call Senator Deb Fisher. She can be reached at 202-224-6551, www.fisher.senate. And I want to thank Senator Fisher because she also is in supportive of our program. But call her and make sure she support the new Sentencing Reform and Correction Act of 2015. Senator Ben Sasse, he can be reached at 202-224-4224 or www.sas.gov/index.cfm/email.bin. This bill has the status introduced, and here are the steps for status of legislation. Introduce, pass Senate, pass House, to president become law. So it has been introduced. Now it has to pass the Senate. But it's getting a lot of support from across the aisle. We need folks to educate themselves about the bill to the point where you can go out and speak articulately about the bill. And then, more importantly, contact your local official. Again, tell your senator to vote for the Sentencing Reform and Correction Act of 2015. I'm glad to announce when we brought Dale Gimes on as our consultant, we went back in and we looked at Black Men United. Very critical. And some of the readjustments, some of the things that we did, I did not want to do at first. But it wasn't about what I wanted as an individual, but what was best for the community and the organization as a whole. So we wanted to broaden our coalition. And one of the agencies and groups that we wanted to broaden our coalition with was the Court Matters Coalition of Nebraska. Some of the groups, like the American Association of University of Women in Nebraska, the Anti-Defamation League, Black Men United, our group, Business and Professional Women in Nebraska, Center for People in Need, Citizens for Equal Protection, Latino American Commission in Nebraska, the League of Women Voters, the National Council of Jewish Women, Nebraska Appleseed. Those are the type of coalition that we want to build where you would not normally see a organization of color involved with. But we believe in order to get things done, it can't be about black, about race, about the human race. But until that time come, until this world see me as a man and I was a black man, then we got to continue on. But I'm proud to announce our collaboration with the Court Matters Coalition of Nebraska. And you really do need to educate yourself about federal and state court. First of all, the Court Matters Coalition of Nebraska is a coalition of diverse organizations that work to ensure a federal judicial composed of individuals who are committed to upholding core constitutional values. Core constitutional values include rights such as voting rights, workers' rights, the right to privacy, freedom of speech, the separation of church and state, and the right of assembly. The Court Matters Coalition of Nebraska works to educate the public and our elected officials about the importance of federal judges who sit on the U.S. District Court, U.S. District, Circuit, and Supreme Courts. Provide information about the judicial nominations process and the records of judicial nominees who will impact our constitutional values and fundamental rights. Mobilize our communities to speak out and to take action on the president's federal judicial nominees. Folks, we have to educate ourselves about how federal and state court works, because policy drives everything. I'm going to read a couple more things. Your vote determines who sits on the Supreme Court. Your vote holds power. You elect the president. The president nominates a Supreme Court justice. You elect your senators. The Senate advises the consents on the president's choice for the Supreme Court. It confirms the justice serves on the Supreme Court for life. So once they're appointed and they're approved, it's for life. We have to educate ourselves about how this process works, but more importantly, about who are being nominated And if they don't fall within the guidelines that we feel they fall within, then we should be calling our elected officials. Decisions from the Supreme Court affects your life and your rights. Again, Court Matters, Nebraska. The federal courts, how is the federal court system set up? How do federal and state courts differ? How many federal judges are there? What role do the federal district court play? What role do the federal appeals court play? These are things that we should be educated on because it directly impacts, particularly the community of color, more dramatically. Why are federal appeal court judges so important? How is the Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia different? And what role do the Supreme Court play? Do you know? We're in the process of asking the Court Matters Coalition to not only come on and do the show, but also do a presentation at the Hungry Club. So stay tuned. It really was a very productive meeting. I'm so glad that we are expanding our coalition with this group and others. Again, if you want to learn more about Court Matters Coalition of Nebraska, visit courtmattersne.org to learn more. Literacy, very important. We will be kicking off our Real Men Read at Howard Kennedy and Mount View. Stay tuned. We have not got the date and the time set yet. But Real Men Read brings men into the classroom to read and mentor children in kindergarten through 6th grade. Real Men Read encourages kids to read and inspires them towards a lifelong love of reading. The program shows that real men do read and value education. The goal of the program is to improve literacy skills, reading confidence, and testing performance. The Omaha Real Men Read initiative addresses literacy as a conduit to educate, empower, and engage the African American community as a large and narrowing the academic achievement gap. If you would like to volunteer as a reader, please email Willie Hamilton at will@blackmenunited.org or Dennis Anderson at mrsterling09@gmail.com or contact either one on Facebook. Again, stay tuned. We excited to what we believe is the first conference of its kind that's going to take place here in Omaha, Nebraska. And it's going to be the first conference on mass incarceration, but it's going to be on best practices. What's actually out there working around the country to reduce recidivism? And we've been working diligently with other organizations in the planning stage to put this conference on here in Omaha, Nebraska, along with Mr. Philip Jackson, Ms. Yango Sawyer out of D.C., and Ms. Michelle Alexander, which we brought her here a few years back. But we're excited to do a conference around best practices. What's actually out there working to reduce recidivism? Texas, Ohio, North Carolina, other states are reducing recidivism by 44%. Well, if those states are reducing recidivism by 44%, how can we implement whatever they're doing successful or tweak whatever they're doing successful here in Nebraska. So I'm excited to be meeting with Mel Beckman of Friends, Families, and Inmates, Kenneth Jones from ICARE Youth Services, Miss Diane Goodcollins from Metro Community College, Gary Grayson from his organization Black Men United, and others to put on this conference. We're excited. Black Men United is excited to be the lead organization on this conference. And some of the workshops that we're actually looking at doing, and these are some of them, is, and if you have any that you would like to see, or if you would like to participate in the conference, or you have a workshop, send those details to will@blackmenunited.org. Voting obstacles for formerly incarcerated citizens, some of the workshops. Obstacles to jury sentence service for formerly incarcerated citizens. Extension of banning the box to private employers. Extension of banning the box to housing providers. Director Scott Frakes, the new director for the Department of Corrections. Strategic plan to move corrections ahead. I believe this individual is going to really set precedent for not only Nebraska but the rest of the country when it comes to recidivism. You heard it here first. Director Scott Frakes. Sex offender treatment in the community. Corrections, vocational and life skill programs. Expansions. Tapping the political potential of the formerly incarcerated, which is going to be a big thing. Tapping the political potential of families and friends of inmates. 60,000 ex-felons in the state of Nebraska. 60,000 ex-felons in the state of Nebraska who have the right to vote, but either don't know or don't care. Major driving forces of mass incarceration in 2016, Nebraska. Did you know that the fastest growing population going into the prison system is women? Did you know? Did you know? Child support, big issue. How many folks do you know are incarcerated because of child support? Mental illness. These are just some of the workshops that are being looked at and done at our conference in 2016, held right here in Omaha, Nebraska. We're trying to do it big. So again, we're excited about putting on this conference and bringing back Michelle Alexander and really looking at best practices, what's actually working. Not only are we going to have the conference itself, but more importantly, we want to have providers, driver's license, child support, elected officials, housing, all those individuals. We would like for those individuals to have booths so that when that population comes, not only will they get educated, but will feel a need. So again, stay tuned. Late 2016, Michelle Alexander, and the first ever conference around best practices. What time we got here? Again, we're excited about bringing Yusef Salam to Omaha, Nebraska, and learn what happened to him. It's a story that's being played out throughout this country. And hopefully we'll learn from the injustice that him and 4 other individuals have suffered. The criminal justice system as it is now is broken. Pure and simple. If you have any comments about some of the things that were said, you can give us a call here at 402-965-1003. Again, if you have an announcement about a program, or if you just want to just call in and chit chat about some of the things that were said, excuse me, about me, the federal court system, mass incarceration, whatever. I want to thank Mr. Ken Smith again for reaching out to Black Men United. Ken Smith is the unit case manager at the Nebraska Correctional Youth Facility here in Omaha. They have a lot of young men that need trade-related skills before returning in the community. We have young men from the ages of 16 to 21 of age that have been adjudicated as adults. And we would love for you and your organization in partnering with us to help them out. Many of these young men are going to be returning to the streets of Omaha upon their release. I would appreciate hearing from you. If you or your organization can help us, please feel free to contact us at any time. So we actually reached out to Ken. I knew Ken. I'm kind of terrible with names sometimes. And me and Dell met with, and Reverend Rollison met with Ken, and the meeting was awesome. And we're in the process, probably January 1st, actually have our full program inside NCYF. Not only inside NCYF, but also DCYC and also the Department of Corrections. When you do righteous things for the righteous reasons, God just overflows, and I just cannot believe the blessing that God is bestowing on our organization. We just need to get our doors open because the need is so great and what we're trying to accomplish. I haven't read this letter in a while, and it's kind of long, but and I'm gonna skip through some of it. But hopefully you'll get the gist of what we need to do as a community. Now, we got a lot of outside support, which is lovely. But we got to do for self, and that's what the Kamani Center is so focused on doing is, yes, we need help to get this thing off the ground, but we want to be able to be in a position to help ourselves. Do for self and control and sustain this organization and this school. And anyway, this is a letter I used to read on a consistent basis, and it's called An Open Letter to Black America. An open letter to Black America. Just listen to some of the words in an open letter to Black America. This is a letter written to Black America by white America. And I found this letter in the Afrocentric News. And when I read it, I was really ticked. But yet, you can't get mad at the truth. Because some of the things that the letter is saying is the truth. Anyway, um, after all these years, all we have been through together, we think it's appropriate for us to show our gratitude for all you have done for us. We have chastised you, criticized you, punished you, and in some cases even apologized to you. But we have never formally nor publicly thanked you for your never-ending allegiance and support to our cause. This is our open letter of thanks to a unique people, a forgiving people, a steadfast people, a brave people, Black Americans. We will always be in debt to you for your labor. You built this country and were responsible for the great wealth we still enjoy today. Upon your backs, laden with the stripes we sometimes had to apply for disciplinary reasons. You carry our nation. We thank you so much for that. We thank you for your diligence and your tenacity. Even when we refuse to allow you to even walk in our shadows, you follow close behind, believing that someday we will come to accept you and treat you like men and women. Your strength is the face of adversity cannot be understated. You are truly a great people, and we wish to thank you so much. We publicly acknowledge Black people for raising our children, attending to our sick, and preparing our meals while we were occupied with the trappings of the good life. Even during the times when we found pleasure in your women and enjoyment in seeing one of your men lynched, maimed, and burned, some of you continue to watch over us and our belongings. We simply cannot thank you enough. Your bravery on the battlefield, despite being classified as 3/5 of a man, was and still is outstanding and beyond the call of duty. We often watch in awe as you went about your prescribed chores and assignments, sometimes laboring in the hot sun for 12 hours to assist us in realizing our dream of wealth and good fortune. You were always there, and we thank you. Now that we control at least 90% of all the resources and wealth of this nation, we have Black people to thank the most. You were there when it all began, and you are still with us today, protecting us from those Black people who have the temerity to speak out against our past transgressions. How can we thank you for your dedication? You warned us about Denmark Vesey. You let us know about Gabriel Prosser's plan. You called our nation to Nat Turner. We're going to skip down a little bit. Thanks for buying our Qurans, Nike, and all of the other brands you do so adore. Your purchase of these products really make us feel that we are at least giving something back to you for your patronage. After all, in the past, the brands we put on you were quite painful, but those of today can be proudly worn because they give you a sense of self-esteem. Right? But it's the least we can do for the people who have treated us so well. Your super rich athletes, entertainers, intellectuals, and business persons, both legal and illegal, exchanged most of their money for our cars, jewelry, homes, and clothing. What a windfall they have provided us for us. The less fortunate among you spend all they have at our neighborhood stores, enabling us to open even more stores. Sure, they complain about us, but they never do anything to hurt us economically. You are a very special people. Thank you. Now, I'm going to digress right here. Just got back from the Million Man March. And there were a lot of folks who talked very highly of the minister and what he tried to accomplish. And the phenomenal thing he did by bringing 1 million people together. Not one incident of violence, not one incident of meanness, not one incident of mean mugging, not one incident of jealousy, not one incident of any negativity whatsoever. And when he did that, commerce was good. And he said, this is what we do. Because he didn't want to just bring us there for nothing. Christmas is coming up. And he said, let's do one thing. Don't spend money for Christmas. Put Christ back into Christmas. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not spending no money for Christmas. What do you think would happen? And then right now I'm just playing in my mind because I see so many black folks say, oh, he crazy. I'm going to Christmas, Black Friday, blah, 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 blah. But what do you think would happen if we did not spend our money for Christmas? If we took the money and spent it in the hood where it did the most good, or if we were of service, and we did what Christ would do, and we spent time with our family, what do you think would happen? If 1 million or 2 million people did that, the power, the economic power that would show. But you know, you're super rich athletes. How many people would ever do that? Well, that's something you can do now that can show our power. Oh yes, allow us to thank for you for not bogging yourself down with the business of doing business with your own. I digress. The times are not like 25 or 30 years ago where you can be in a company for 25 or 30 years and retire. I've never saw anyone get rich from working for somebody else. We have no economic base in North Omaha. That's why our schools are so messed up. Because that's how it's based on the tax base. If we're the poorest community, how in the hell are we going to be able to get the best schools? For our kids to have the same thing that all the rest of the kids have. Not more, just the same. Same playing field. Equal access. We don't want to hand out. We just need a hand up. And we can do the rest on our own. But it is what it is. We can take care of that for you. Please don't even trouble yourself with it. Yes, you were successful at it after slavery ended, and even as recently as 1960. But you know what? What happened when you began to build your own communities and do business with one another? Some of the little ones of our kind burn you out time and time again. So why bother? In today's business environment, your own people will not support you anyway. You just keep doing business with us. It's safer that way. Besides, everything you need, we make anyway. Even Kitty Croft. Did you know? Did you know that black people spend more money than any other race of people. Did you know? And that may be because we never, as slaves, we never had much. Being poor, so we spend our money on cars, clothes, jewelry. I can't say the other word. We gotta become producers. That's why it's funny when I hear my homies say, "Oh, my hood." We don't own nothing. And whether you know it or not, if we don't get our stuff together, North Omaha gonna be white again. The whiting is on the wall. Sidney Chambers been talking about it for years. And we can't blame nobody but us. But us. The future belongs to those who prepare for it today. Malcolm. What are we doing to prepare our kids for the future? And are we standing up for our kids? I think the answer is no. Because all this stuff wouldn't be happening if we would. When are we going to wake up and realize that we are a sleeping giant, but not without a backbone? For your labor which created our wealth, for your resisting the messages of troublemaking blacks like Washington, Delaney, Garvey, Bethune, Tubman, and Truth, for fighting and dying on our battlefield. What will you die for? We thank you for allowing us to move into your neighborhoods. We will forever be grateful to you for increasing, unceasing desire to be near us, and for hardly ever following through on your threats due to your lack of reciprocity and equity. We thank you so much. We get what we deserve until we realize our true power is within about unity. We don't have to like each other. We don't have to agree with each other. But we have to be able to look at the bigger picture. Again, give us a call here at 402-965-1003. If you have any questions or comments, what has been discussed on the show. Again, our intro to the trades will be taking place tonight. I'm sorry. It will be taking place November 14th from 9 to 3 p.m. at the Kamani Center, located on 4200 North 30th Street. Again, classes begin November 14th from 9 to 3 p.m. If you want to sign up for the classes, please go to www.blackmenunited.org and download the application. Again, Intro to the Trades training is a 4-week-long Saturday class that will help you gain key skills to be employed in the construction field. What this course will do for you is give you the basic skills to prepare you for the entry-level construction work, teach you skills to get and keep a job, support you with the job search efforts, and connect you to the potential employers, give you hands-on training with short internship, and provide you with a certificate of completion and letter of recommendation for your resume. This course consists of the following: the basic construction math and measurement, CPR certification, interviewing skills and strategies, dealing with the workplace frustrations, job search strategies, one-on-one support, and more. To cap off the program and receive the certificate of completion, a student must complete a 10-hour arranged internship at a local construction or vocational company in Omaha. This program is targeted to individuals from the age of 18 to 25. However, if you are older and are interested, exceptions can and will be made. Again, classes begin November 14th, 2015. I want to call, see if I can catch this gentleman here to talk about his program, Toy Track. So, just hold on for a minute.
You have reached the voicemail box of 402-812-6540. At the tone, please.
I guess not. Just want to give a big shout out to, first of all, a couple of people. Mr. Winsley Duran from the Omaha Chamber Program. Definitely is someone that Black Men United is riding with. He's been very instrumental in assisting us and guiding us through this process of completing the school, putting us in contact with the right folks, mention our names in the right atmosphere, right spaces, if you will. So this individual has been instrumental, and we're in the process of signing the MOU with the REACH program. And so we just want to give a big shout out to Winsley Duran and the tough situation that he's in with the REACH program. I'm hoping that people will keep things in perspective and then look at the bigger picture on how can we impact people's lives, how can we get more businesses up and running and sustainable. How can we work together in order to accomplish that? And if we keep the bigger picture in mind, then it's nothing we can't accomplish. But will we? So I just want to give a big shout out to Winsley Duran and the REACH program and what they do. Had a meeting with the Lionsgate. Hopefully we'll be finalizing our collaboration with Lionsgate, and hopefully they'll be moving into the building. We're working out some details on making that happen. So God is just opening up so many doors. And if you keep what you're doing righteous and you keep Him first, grace is a wonderful thing. So again, if you want to learn more about what we do, if you want to become a volunteer mentor, if you want to become a volunteer reader, if you want to become a volunteer instructor, give us a call again at 402-965-1003, or you can email us at will@blackmenunited.org. Again, I want to resend my condolences out to the Peak family. Miss Lyric Peak and the Peak family lost a great man, and Dr. Frank Peak. Again, he was a mentor. I used to call him the Godfather because it seemed like anything I asked him, he could get it done by picking up the phone or sending an email. You will be missed so much. So again, my prayers go out to the Peak family and Miss Lyric's Lay to Death. Hopefully we'll see each other on the Father Advisory Council team meeting. But you take care of yourself, and as always, keep your eye on Jesus Christ, and He will always see you through. Also, again, we are ecstatic to be planning the first ever National Mass Incarceration Best Practices Conference to be held right here in Omaha, Nebraska in 2016. We are meeting regularly, once a month right now, and to plan the event. So if you want to get involved with the planning, please email me at will@blackmanunited.org, and we'll get you on the list. Again, some of the workshops we're looking at doing is voting obstacles for formerly incarcerated citizens, obstacles to jury service for formerly incarcerated citizens, extension of the banning the box to private employers, extension of banning the box to housing providers, big issue. Director Scott Frakes, strategic plan to move corrections ahead. What is his vision? Where do he see himself 5 years from now in his role with the Department of Corrections? Sex offender treatment in the community, corrections, vocational and life skills program expansion, tapping the political potential of the formerly incarcerated 60,000 strong in the state of Nebraska, but how many of those individuals know about it or actually utilize the right to vote? The major driving forces of mass incarceration. What will be the major driving forces of mass incarceration in 2016? How can we get ahead of that particular trend? What can we do to impact that? Child support, big issue, and is definitely one of the driving forces in mass incarceration. Mental illness, literacy, another. So those are just some of the possibilities for the workshops at the Michelle Alexander event. If you want to get involved, again, you can give me a call, or you can email me at will@blackmanunited.org. Court Matters Coalition of Nebraska. Again, we want to thank you so much for collaborating with Black Men United, and we look forward to bringing you on the show to talk more about our Court Matters Coalition and what are some of the action steps that folks can do, and how can we broaden our impact to more people to get them to learn more about what Court Matters Coalition does. So, we're getting close to that time. Again, if you want to call into the show, give us some feedback on how we're doing. What are your thoughts? Again, 402-965-1003. You're here on Real Talk. My name is Willie Hamilton, and we're on 1690 AM, The One. Again, don't forget to educate yourself about the new sentencing Reform and Correction Act of 2015. Please contact your senator, Senator Deb Fischer, at 202-224-6551. Or you can go to www.fisher.senate.gov/public/index.cfm/contact. You can also contact Senator Ben Sash at 202-224-5454. 4224 at www.sash.gov/publicindex.cfm/email/Ben. Again, right now we're in the bill has been introduced. The next step will be passed by the Senate, then passed by the House, and it goes to the President, and then it becomes law. This bill is being supported on both sides of the aisle. So please call your elected official and tell them to support Sentencing Reform and Correction Act of 2015 S.2123. Again, that's the Sentencing Reform and Correction Act of 2015 S.2123. Again, don't forget to join us for Dine Dinner Digest, November 21st, 5 to 7 p.m. at Big Mama's Kitchen and Catering, where we will be showing a documentary on Miss Lashana Etheridge Bay, who did 18.5 years in prison and has basically got out and made a transformation back into society. She was involved. She's the subject of the award-winning documentary Time Zone, which will be our next showing of a documentary at Big Mama's Kitchen and Catering, Dine Dinner Digest, November the 21st, 5 to 7 p.m. She also created a nonprofit organization known as The Wire. The Wire, which stands for the Women Involved in Reentry Efforts. The Wire is a network of previously incarcerated women who have joined together to provide social support to women currently incarcerated and women returning from incarceration. The Wire has visited several correctional institutions for women, providing motivation and conveying resources. So again, come out November 21st, 5 to 7 p.m. at Big Mama on a Turning Point campus for Dine Dinner Digest, presented by Black Men United and Big Mama's Kitchen and Catering for the award-winning documentary Time Zone. Well, that's about it for the show. Again, Intro to the Trades begin November the 14th. If you know of a youth between the ages of 18 to 25, and if you know someone older than that, those individuals will be accepted as well. So please give us a holler, or you can email us at will@blackmenunited.org. Excuse me. Again, we want to thank you so much for tuning in to Real Talk. If you would like to become a guest on Real Talk, just drop me an email. Let me know what you do, what topic you want to discuss, and if I can make it happen, I will make it happen. Again, the Hungry Club, I'm excited. Excuse me. Our guest will be Miss Donna Smith, and we will be talking about Suicide Prevention Month, and also be talking about the death of her son who committed suicide. Miss Donna Smith, again, will be our guest speaker at the December Hungry Club at Big Mama's Kitchen, sponsored by Black Men United and Big Mama's Kitchen. Donna has a radio show weekly on 1690 AM, Surviving Life's Tribulations. Her son committed suicide in 2011. She is a suicide prevention awareness advocate, has been a sports coach for the 23 years, and has been the executive regional director for Hoop It Up for the last 9 years. She is going to talk about suicide awareness. I think this is a kind of topic as suicides and depression tend to rise during the holidays. So we're looking to have her at Big Mama to talk about a tragic time in her life and how she has gotten through that life's tribulation, if you will, and what is she doing now, and what can we do to learn more and educate ourselves about suicide prevention, because we may be able to save someone's life. So come down, Big Mama's Kitchen and Catering, for some great food, great friends, great fun. Every first Wednesday of the month from 12 to 1 p.m. on the Turning Point campus. If you want to learn more about what Black Men United do, please go visit our website at www.blackmenunited.org, where our mission is and purpose. We are a grassroots organization that does advocacy, protects, and economic development, builds work that focuses on black men of all ages in the Omaha community. Black Men United is dedicated to supporting the growth and the development of black men, their families, and the communities where they live, work, and play. So if you want to get involved, want to become a member, we're looking at starting memberships in the organization. If you just want to learn more, please go to our website at www.blackmenunited.org. Well, we're winding down. Next week, we're going to have a couple of good guests for you. We're going to keep it in house right now and surprise you next week. But we want to make sure that every week we want to keep you guessing, if you will, and hopefully give you a piece of information that you may or may not have known about, and hopefully that information will compel you or empower you to get involved with some organization, with something. Right now, this is not a sideline sport. We need all hands on that. As Mrs. Sean Dove would say, the cavalry is not coming. We are the cavalry, and we must get involved. Speaking of Mr. Sean Dove, I'm excited to be heading back to Louisville, Kentucky for the 5th anniversary of Rumble, Young Man Rumble. That's being held at the Muhammad Ali Center in Louisville, Kentucky. So, Cheryl, hopefully see you real soon. I think I fly out of here December 5th, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm really looking forward to seeing all the guys again. Sean Dove and Philip Jackson and David Miller and Kenny Braswell and the rest of the crew. Really have become a family atmosphere. So I'm really looking forward to going down and seeing Black Butterfly, Miss Cheryl Ford down in Louisville. So God is really blessing me to be able to be graced by the opportunity that He is blessing me with. So I'm just overflowing right now. I mean, it's not by my works; it's by His grace, and I just can't thank Him enough. Again, if you want to learn more about the mass incarceration conference that's being planned, please contact me. If you want to come and do the Hungry Club, contact me as well. If you know a documentary that you would like to see, you can contact us as well. We're always open to the community when it comes to the different documentary viewing of those documentary, and then having a panel to have open dialogue and discussion regarding that. Again, don't forget our program starts December the 14th. So if you know of any young man or lady between the ages of 18 and 25 or older, please tell them about the program. And it is a free program. I can't say that. It is a free program. Also, December the 2nd, on the campus of UNO, we are pleased to bring Yusef Salim, one of the Central Park Five that was wrongfully convicted of a crime back in 1989 in New York, of the raping of a young lady and kidnapping of a young lady, again back in 1989. They were wrongfully sentenced, and they just got awarded $41 million after serving almost 13 years in prison, wrongfully admitted. And if it wasn't for an individual who was already in prison and the DNA, who knows what may have happened. So the criminal justice system as it is broken. I use this analogy. We're dealing with mass incarceration as though we're having a heart attack. And I say it's best to deal with it before you get a heart attack. And that's why we're working so hard on prevention. So if you want to become a guest, if you want to learn more about the Hungry Club or what Black Men United do, give us a holler. So I'm trying to wait on my guy William King and my guest who's coming on after me. So we're gonna go ahead and keep it going for a little bit. Let me make a phone call somebody just to mess with here to waste some time. Again, hey man, you busy?
Just tearing the ceiling out.
Hey man, take 5 minutes out, man, and talk about the toy track. And is it completed?
Am I on the air, Willie?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, you do me. Alright, let me get away from this area.
Okay.
Most of y'all know this will be the 3rd annual Toy Trek. We walked 17 miles from 144th and Center to 16th and Wirt, Lionel's Restaurant. Takes anywhere from 10 to 12 hours, just depends on our pace. What we do is we collect toys along the route. We have stop stations. I want to say there's 8 total. You can either bring the toys to the stop station or you could meet us on the route, drop them in the wagon. All the toys are distributed to kids that are in need. We partner with OPS the first year and had counselors basically tell us who the kids were that were in need, and they made private lists So we matched up their list to each kid. That way they got what they wanted, and it was a good experience, kind of like a Secret Santa type deal. Last year we did it a little different. We had a dinner, and Justin Wayne, he played Santa Claus, and kids came up, told us what they wanted, and we matched up the toys to what they asked for. This year we'll probably do it kind of the same way, maybe a mixture of both. But either way, we plan on walking about 9 o'clock, Saturday, December 19th. What we're doing now, we're just taking we're getting sponsors together, people that want to sponsor us. We'll promote your business. We'll put your business name on the wagon, on the T-shirts. You'll be on our little website or promotional video that we're going to use. So it's good publicity either way. Sponsorships are $100. Your $100, it goes towards purchasing turkeys for families for Thanksgiving, and also purchasing toys.
So
we're collecting toys two ways. You can either buy them yourself and drop them off, or we'll take a gift card, whatever, and we'll go match them up like you've been doing per list. So there's a couple of different ways you can donate. We do have a PayPal. It's Project Nose, KNOSE, @gmail.com. You could call me, text me, whatever, 812-6540. I'm finishing up some work now, but I should be available for the rest of the week. And it's just, we hope this is the big one. We had a great turnout last year. We hope to be even bigger this year. So we're giving it a good push.
Where would it start off, the kickoff of the toy track?
104th and Center. I think it's Dillard's parking lot.
Dillard's. Okay. If people want to give or contact you, they can go to projectnose@gmail.com.
Or you can get in contact with me on our Facebook page, which is Project Nose.
Facebook, Project Nose. Or they can call you at 812-6540.
Yep.
If people want to drop off a toy prior to December the 19th, where can they drop it off at?
Kamani Center, 4200 North 30th. We're going to have boxes like we did last year at different places throughout North Omaha. So I'll update the Project Nose Facebook page and let people know where the drop stations are, where you see the toy box, and hopefully we get a good turnout.
So you will have like drop stations along the way, right?
Yep.
And then you will have a list of those drop stations located on your Facebook page.
Yep.
And you can go to the Facebook page is Project Nose.
Yes.
Okay. So Facebook page Project Nose, projectnose@gmail.com. If you say, hey, look, Robert, we don't want to do all that. We just want to give a donation. They got a PayPal account where you can go directly on the website and do it via a PayPal. If you say, hey, Rob, we just want to give a $100 donation and be done with it, you can do that as well. The kickoff will be at 104th and Center Street, December 19th. And we want people to just come down. Excuse me, if you want to do 4 miles, if you want to do 2 miles, just come down, because we want to get as much attention as possible, so we can get the greater gift for the people, which is the kids. At the end of the day, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make sure that the kids and the families who are in need get that taken care of. So I know you're always busy, Rob, and we're gonna make sure we announce this again on the show. This is for a good cause. Not only will they be doing the toys, but also they'll be doing 100 turkeys as well. So 2 things you can
100
do.
turkeys for Thanksgiving, and again, we'll be updating the Facebook page to let people know what it takes to qualify, if your family qualifies or not, and it's pretty simple. So,
Well, look, my real question, Rob, why are you doing this, man? Why are you doing this, man?
well, there's a ton of reasons. I don't have time to go into it, but I mean, it just there's so many families that are in need. Sometimes people are embarrassed, sometimes they're ashamed, and sometimes that pride, just because you have pride, it gets in the way. But the kids are the ones that are hurting because of that pride. So, I just want people to reach out.
Okay.
If you need help and we got the resources available, bam, we're going to help you.
Okay, so again, come out, support the 3rd annual toy track. Contact Robert Wagner at 402-812-6540. Go to the Facebook page, Project Knows. They have a PayPal account. December 19th, the drop-off location is the Commodity Center, 4200 North 30th. Rob, I'm going to let you get back to work. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Willie.
All right, then. Again, folks, this is something that you can do quick. You know Robert Wagner. You know what he's about. It's never about Robert. It's about how can he be of service. That's what Christ is in Christmas. Christ-like. So here's an opportunity for you to give. December 19th is the kickoff on 104th and Center. Again, you can go to Toy Track on the Facebook page, Project Knows, or you can go to projectknows@gmail.com. They have a PayPal account, or you can call him directly at 402-812-6540. Ask for Robert Wagner. Again, the kickoff is 104th and Center Street at the dealer's parking lot, December 19th. If you want to just drop off a turkey, or if you want to just drop off some toys, you can drop it off at the Commodity Center. That's Black Men United Commodity Center, 4200 North 30th Street in the old Pastor Glass building. Again, come out and support the 3rd annual Toy Track Christmas jaunt. That's a long way, 17 miles, man. That's a long way. I did about 3 when I started cramping. But it is what it is. I'm going to be ready for it this year. Again, folks, I want to thank you so much for tuning into the show. I think my guy ought to be on his way here. 8:46. The next guest will be arriving, not guest, but the follow-up show behind me, Miss Felicia. Again, folks, my name is Willie Hamilton. This is Real Talk. As always, we want to thank you so much for tuning into the show. Again, we got a few minutes left, so if you want to give us a holler here, maybe you got a upcoming event and you want to talk about it, please give us a call here. We can definitely do that, announce it on the air. Ms. Donna Smith, thank you so much for telling your story and being our next guest at the Hungry Club for Suicide Prevention Month, to talk about the tribulation that you went through with the loss of your son due to suicide. So I don't know how many people can really talk about losing a loved one to violence. Before we get off the air, I want to give a big shout out to my son Damien B. Hamilton. I love you to death. Miss you. He's stationed in North Carolina. He's in the process of going to Korea for a year. So he did a couple of tours over in Afghanistan, and now he's going to Korea for a year, and he'll come home hopefully for a little bit, and then we won't be able to see him for a year. So that's gonna be kind of hard, but we know that God is gonna keep him and bless him, and take care of him. So we leave that in God's hand. Also, again, I want to send a special shout out to the Peak family. Our prayers are with you. You lost a wonderful man. He lived a great life. He's definitely an icon. And I'm talking about Dr. Frank Peak, aka Godfather. I just gave him that name because it seemed like every time I would go to him and had a need, he would get it done. I mean, he would either know of someone himself, or he would send me to someone who would then know of someone. I mean, he just had a unique knack of getting things done and knew everybody. So if I can be half the person that he was, that'd be a tremendous thing. And one of the things I found so amazing about him is that he was an activist. He believed in social justice and standing up, even though that means that you may get disliked, you may get talked about, but he was willing to do that. And not too many people have the balls or the backbone to be able to stand up for a social issue, because they may not be liked. And see, that's our problem, man. It's a lack of leadership in this day and age who are not willing to do that. And I'm so glad and was so blessed that Dr. Peak was that type of individual that would stand up if it means standing up by himself and speak truth to power. That's why I try to carry myself. So I'm just gonna miss you, and I love you, and I know you're sitting on the right hand of God. Rest in peace. Again, folks, we want to thank you so much for tuning into the show. My name is Willie Hamilton. And this is Real Talk. And we want to thank all our partners who have been in our corner from day one, stuck by here to get this thing done. And it seemed like with God, grace, and favor, things are really coming to task. And it's overflowing, literally. So be careful what you ask for, because God will definitely, definitely bless you with overflow. And that's what he's doing in my life. He's blessing me with overflow. So we got about 8 cities that want Black Men United in the chapter. And we've been very meticulous. We've been very strategic about when we branch out. And most likely, Detroit will be our city where we will expand and make our first chapter of Black Men United in. So they actually got moved up ahead of the list because we thought we were going to do the first one in Austin, Texas, but we think we're going to go ahead and kick it off in Detroit, Motor City, and have the second chapter of Black Men United in Detroit, Michigan. So again, I'm trying to wait on my guy to get here. So again, don't forget to tune in every Monday night from 7 to 9 p.m. If you'd like to become a guest, you can email us at will@blackmenunited.org, or you can go to our website at www.blackmenunited.org to find out more. All right, then. Let me text this guy. Is he on his way? Is he on his way? William. Oh, okay. Well, let me try to call this guy. Felicia Michelle ain't ready here yet. They like. That's what I love. I love radio. So what do you do?
Spoken word poetry,
Trying to figure that.
graphic design.
Yeah. What's your name? What's your name? Sakura?
Hey, what up?
Oh, what up, man? Where you at?
I'm finna pull to the lights on 72nd Dodge. I'll be in about 3 or 4 minutes.
All right, then.
All right.
Later. Sakura. Are we Facebook friends?
Before, I think around the time we were playing like Black August, and we were at the bookstore.
Okay. That's been on. Wow, that's been on now. Black August, with Kenny Nkrumah. Huh? Okay. So you still doing spoken word, huh?
Yeah, still doing it.
So when is your next show?
I don't have anything planned. We may have some stuff coming with the wordsmiths. The wordsmiths with Michelle and Paula Bell, and Bell.
So what are you trying to do with this talent?
For me, like I like teaching, so working with students. I've done some coaching, but it's kind of just a balance of all the stuff I do. Like I like to still like to paint and do the graphic stuff, so that sometimes that kind of takes more of my time, and then sometimes I kind of go through like phases where I'll be doing more poetry.
How you pay the bills?
I work with a mentoring program is what I do now, and then I freelance graphic design on the side. But
Graphic design. I mean, like,
like mostly promotional stuff, like business cards, flyers, things like that. But my main gig is I work with a mentoring program,
what mentoring program you work
partnership for kids.
with? Damien Gray?
Sit right next to them every day.
Matter of fact, I'm on there. Matter of fact, I need to call Damien. We plan on doing something at the Hungry Club to kick off National Mentoring Month.
Okay.
And I'm trying to decide what to do, and what mentoring organization to partner with. I think Partnership for Kids is one of the organizations I'm looking at, and then maybe 100 Black Men.
Yeah, we're working with them to get some mentors for our students who are like affiliated with the Village Zone.
Okay. The Village Zone, that's Willie Borneo Empowerment Network. Okay. So what type of mentors are you looking for?
Our mentors aren't really pulled into we do gender matches normally. We do small group mentoring, so we do like 4 kids to a mentor. So it really is open. I have everybody from college students that mentor to people that are in the working world, people that are retired. So
So it's group mentoring.
it's group mentoring.
Because I know one best practices, if you will, that is already always talk to peer or one-on-one. But I think realistically, we're gonna have to gravitate towards group.
I like the group mentoring model.
Mm.
It's more, it's kind of like not only do you have your mentor, but then you can bounce ideas off of each other, like them being your peers. You know, students kind of have that support, and a lot of them can relate to one another because they already go to school. We're just in the schools, so they can already relate to each other, and the mentor kind of comes in to bridge that gap.
Okay. Hey man, you can come over here and just close me out, man, because I was just wasting some time. But yeah, if you could tell Damien to give me a call, I would love to see if we could do something for in January for National Mentoring Month. And I'm already at Big Mama's, so we can do something on the first Wednesday. So I don't know what that would look like, but I want to do something.
Okay, I'll talk to them.
How do you shut this off, man? So again, folks, I want to thank you so much for tuning into the show. My name is Willie Hamilton. This is Real Talk. And as you can tell, I was doing some off-camera interviewing regarding Partnership for Kids. Should have brought her on. While I was up here. when I was up here. So again, make sure you tune in every Monday night, 7 to 9, for Real Talk. As always, we leave you with peace.